Come on in, Melvin. Hey, hello.
I'm,
How are you?
I'm good at yourself.
I'm fine. Hope you are having a blessed Sunday evening.
And likewise. And I'm having a great Sunday evening. So.
Oh, God bless. Thanks for those of you who are coming in. Please welcome Melvin Edmonds Jr. Those of you who don't know him, he is the son of the late great Melvin Edmonds, one of the members of After Seven.
Yes, yes. How are you guys doing tonight, by the way?
Thank, uh, Thanks for those of you who are coming in. Hope you guys are having a blessed Sunday evening.
All right.
So where I have to start. I mean, like you came up from a family of greatness. All of your siblings, they sing. You know, I mean, where do I start from here?
I mean, I know you probably have a lot of questions, so I mean, just
Yeah,
take your
I
time with
do.
it. So,
hmm Tell us what's old news and what's the latest news with Melvin Edmonds Jr.
oh, news for me. I had a single that I was first released through Sony, called "Chill with Me," but we had to take it. I had Sony take it down. Contract situation wasn't right. So now, what I mean, we're releasing that through Universal, and also, um, I'm also CEO of my own distribution company. Used to be record label. Now we, just turned it into a distribution company where we help distribute for underground. Labels, underground artists. Help give them a situation, if you will.
Edmonds Music Incorporation, that's the name of your distribution deal, correct?
Yes,
Mhm.
ma'am.
And tell us about the artists that you signed to that distribution.
Right now, well, it's not myself as an artist, of course. I have another artist named Nick Alexander who does neo soul R&B. That got the '90s feel to it. He also have Eli B, who's right now we're in the experiment stages with Eli. He has released one song that's hip hop, but I believe that with him being a new artist, him not really doing some experimenting, I'm saying, can help us find what really is pretty much his style. So we're in experimenting stages with him, but yeah, we set ground and we're trying to. Our main thing is to bring back um, '90s type of New Jack Swing type of music. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because that's the era that After Seven, it came out when they first started.
yeah,
New Jack
exactly.
Swing.
Had to
And,
take back to the roots. So.
and I saw in your story like last week or the other week that you posted a saying, saying New Jack Swing. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like the world needs it. New Jack, I go off of what I remember from the '90s, and I remember in the '90s, families had family reunions. You know what I mean?
hmm
New Jack Swing was that type of music that families play, they get together. You know, what I mean?
hmm
But any occasion, it could be a party, it could be just hanging out. Just New Jack Swing was just that feel good era of music, and we're definitely trying to bring that back.
Uh-huh. How, like, did you feel like, when New Jack Swing wasn't, like, normal? How did you feel when the era ended?
For me, I was kind of, it was weird, my feeling, because I in my mind I don't know where it's going. You feel me? So once
Mm-hmm.
Jack was pretty much over, then it was like, okay, well then hip hop
Mm-hmm.
stepped in. I'm gonna be real with you. I called hip hop a long time ago now. I remember sitting with my uncle. I was like 16 years old, and I asked him, does he looking any, is he looking for any hip hop artists? Like, nah, he don't really do that because he don't know that genre or whatever. But I'm like, hip hop is gonna take off, and look at it today. Hip hop's been the top genre for the last 20 years. So,
Uh-huh.
but now that hip hop is falling, um, I believe that now time that New Jack, comes right back around. So
Uh-huh. It's like, a New Jack, like, R&B, hip hop, funk, jazz,
mm,
doo-wop.
yeah, we need to bring all that back. So and that's
Uh-huh.
the idea. That's the idea. So this is just working hard and trying to get that and bring that back. And that's our thing. Like even if I get a gospel artist, I'm gonna start to see if they can do some gospel on.
Of
You know what I'm saying?
course,
Like
of
New Jack
course,
Swing because it's
of course.
like
And like, when it comes to gospel, that's the main genre that's important, because it's like, artists is like, and your dad, the groups in after seven, it's like, before they got signed to the music business, they all sang in church.
mhm,
And, like, most of these R&B legends did. It's like before this, like, they started their career, the R&B business, they had to sing for the Lord first.
exactly. So I believe it's like I said. I'm just gonna my me and my team. We feel we're firm on that we bring the R&B, the New Jack Swing back. I said
Hmm.
figure out a way to put. I mean, shoot, if I can figure out another artist that I can, you know what I'm saying. I like turning people into like what I mean, something that
Yeah.
reminds them of somebody. Like if I can find an artist that I could bring out and to bring New Jack Swing back, a hip hop
Hmm.
artist,
Yes, of course,
then
of course. It's
I
like
would look like a Heavy D type of rapper. You feel me? Because it's like
the dark skinned version of Heavy D.
right. You know what I'm saying? So um, that's the whole idea. But I not this is nothing against no other genre. I listen to I like R&B, regular R&B. I like my slow jam. I like my hip
Hmm.
hop. I like reggae, and I listen to everything. But yeah, my main focus and my label's main focus, basically is to bring that back out, bring, what I'm saying, and focus on positivity when it comes to our culture because there's too much
Yeah,
negative being pushed out there.
yes, and yes, it's like we are in an era where, like, we need, like, positivity, we need peace, and, like, we need God by our side every day, because it's like every day is like, we're hearing somebody in the community, a family member, a close friend, somebody who really means daily to them,
Hmm.
people in the business, like, passing away left and right.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't suspected because my mother warned me about this when I was, when I was a child. She was like, "Look, there's gonna come a time where all around it's just everything's gonna be down, and somebody has to be, or somebody has to be that person to rise and bring something about a bad situation." So
Mhm.
what I mean, a lot of people they don't realize how bad the music industry is right now.
Yeah,
But
they gotta do better.
well, the music industry is not giving out no more money, and they're firm on that. Now it's about numbers. If you can't produce numbers, if you can't come out on social media, push your stuff, and you can't produce
Mhm.
numbers, then the main record label's not going to deal with you. And this is what
Mhm.
artists need to understand that it's harder now more than ever because you can't just step out, go to a label no more, sign a piece of paper. Okay, I'm signed. Get that money. You get to quit your job. No, you have to keep your job and continue to do your music.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
That's just the world we're living in, you know. And honestly, the music ain't really music industry. It's only changed with the whole situation with the digital platforms, right? But on on another aspect, it hasn't changed because there are many musicians been out since the '90s that has a career outside of music. You know,
Yeah,
this industry is kind of fickle when it comes to making money. You don't get that. You don't get that every 2 week check, that a month check. You feel me? It comes
yeah.
in quarters. So
And that sucks. It's like, people, they like to be, most people, they like to be shady, like, when it comes to the business.
yeah,
It's like, they think it's like, they with you, and they want to work with you, but at the same time, it's about using, it's like, slandering people's name, tarnishing people's image just because it's like, you see that person putting in the work, and like, the other person isn't.
yeah. I think from what that comes from the situation of, the whole situation of, oh, this person sold out or that person sold out. Let's keep it real. What's really sold out? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because if I'm doing what is needed for me to take care of my family,
Exactly.
then you can't necessarily say that's selling out, because I'm doing what's needed for me and my family to maintain our lifestyle. A lot of people don't understand that entertainers got it harder than anybody else. That's just singers, rappers, actors. We
Exactly.
got it harder than anybody else, because everybody
Uh-huh.
else, you know where your checks are coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go, you got a job to go clock into every day. You know what I'm saying? Being a full-time entertainer, you don't know. You feel me? So you
Uh-huh.
always gotta stay on the grind. And then, I know there's a lot of entertainers out there when it comes to the features and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? If somebody pays them 500 for a feature, they'll give them only $500 worth of words. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's really, but then you got other artists that's passionate about what they do, and even if it is 500, 300, they're about to put heart and soul into it, because
Mm-hmm.
it's their name that's coming. You know what I mean? That's gonna be seen when that single comes out. So, you know the industry is very fickle.
And then,
You just
yeah.
gotta know who to work with, who you
Mhm.
can't work with. You gotta put your
Yeah,
foot down.
yeah, those who you could trust, and those who you can't trust. Those who it's like, be shady with the business. And like, when it comes to the music business, it's obvious that, you could read a person, like, left to right, head to toe. It's like, who's real, who's fake, who don't want to see you win, who don't want to
Mhm.
take you to the next level.
Well, here's the thing. I know a lot of people say the label's this, the label's that, but here's the thing: a label gets on every artist. Why? Because they don't want to put out trashy music. Now,
Mm-hmm.
a, a label won't tell you put out music praising a white person. A label won't tell you to put out music praising a black person. They're not going to tell you that. No, labels take chances, and they've always taken chances. If you have something that you bring it to the table that the label feels is a good idea and they can win from it, then they'll take you on. So, I've been hearing a lot of artists say that labels, well, they only want you to make this type of music. Not necessarily.
It's
It's on
not
us
true.
to
That's
change
not
that
true.
narrative.
It's
Because
it's like, that's an opinion, and you can't believe, like, something that comes out of another person's mouth. You need to see it for yourself.
right, and that's the same thing with, they have this notion about in the music industry, whether or not you should go to a label, right? Well, a lot of people say, well, I want to stay independent. Going to the label is a stupid move. Going to the label is not necessarily a stupid move. Going to the label, it gets you seen, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? It gets you seen. It puts your music in places where you may not be able to put it independently. You know what I mean? Not only that, they beef up the PR on your music. They push it for you. Yes, they give you the money, but then here's the thing. You gotta understand, amongst taking that money, you gotta realize that you gotta pay back 3 times that.
Yeah.
Not only that, when you go out to dinners with these labels and these executives, that all that is coming out of your pocket. You know what I mean? Um, and they don't tell these artists that when you first sign and let's do a big dinner, this and that, and they order the most expensive things on the menu, you
Mm-hmm.
get left with the check. You know what I mean? So and it ain't like you're not gonna pay it. Why? Because they just put 10, 20,000 in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it comes time for recording sessions, you got to go to their engineers. Their engineers is going to charge you out the butt. You feel me? Videos. You got to go to their directors, and their directors got a high budget. And then I believe someone I seen an interview recently where someone mentioned that with these labels, being signed to a label, the paperwork to get a feature is a long process because you got to deal with different entities, and you got to pay for everything you get. Even with that feature, you may have to pay a fee for it. You feel me? And that's facts. It was Maya. That's who mentioned it, and that's facts. All that stuff come out of money that the label gives you, and this is where young people gotta understand that when you go to these labels, you get these deals. You gotta have a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have a game plan of what you're doing with that money and how you're going to be able to get them 3 times of that money back if
Mm-hmm.
your album doesn't sell. Because we're in the streaming days now. You feel me? So if you're not making that in streaming, invest that money in another area where if that situation happened, you don't want to be stuck on a contract. You can always pay them that money cash and get right back out.
Yes.
You feel me? But a lot of people don't think that. Label give me 30. Label give me 10,000 now, right? I would invest that 10,000 in something else just in case. While I do my music, just in case my music, I don't get the streams, I don't produce that much money. So when it comes to that, if I don't want to be stuck under this label anymore after that project, I can get them 30,000 in cash. That's 3 times what you guys gave me. You can
Mm-hmm.
let me out of my contract. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, we got to start thinking like that. We got to start thinking like bosses. Once these artists start thinking like a boss like that, situation will be totally different for them.
And like you're talking from experience because your dad and the other members of After Seven is like they had to make sure that everything was right. They sat with executives, they met with engineers, producers to make sure that their music, their albums, and all of their songs were on point. And it's like on why they're on one of the best male trios of all time.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I'm not saying it because it's my father or nothing, and my uncles, but After Seven is my favorite male group of all time.
Mhm.
I'm just keeping it real. That's their voice, the sound is just, you know. I remember as a child hearing my dad sing around the house. You feel me? So it was like, okay, yeah. And I looked up to him like, yeah, that's the man I want to be right there. Because he had that sound. When I first seen him perform, I was like 7 years old, and that was something different to see as a child. You know what I mean? You get to see your dad and your uncle just go on stage and everybody go crazy for them. So it was like that was something different for me. It made me realize a lot of things. Like, yo, that's the attention. This is why you seek attention, because this is what you're found. So
It's
my
like,
music.
uh-huh. And like, ever since it's like, his passing, how are you holding up?
I'm holding up pretty good. Everything that I do right now, as far as the music is concerned, he's behind me in spirit. I feel him. You know what I mean? I feel him every day. So when I make it, the funny thing is when something doesn't sound right, he lets me know he's around, because he will make my equipment mess up, whether turn off or something. So like, nope, try it again. So that's always been him. When something doesn't sound right, he's not gonna let it. He's gonna tell you turn it off, try it again. And I'm grateful for that, because it shows me that he's still here. And I know he's still with my siblings and everything, but right now, everything I'm doing about bringing back the New Jack thing, all
Yeah, it needs to come back. And like, it's like, bringing the late 80s and the early 90s back into 2024.
hmm
And that would be dope.
Yeah, we're definitely on that verge. You know, right now, with having less artists than what Kenny had, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I would love to say we you know what I'm saying, we doing it like LaFace, but at this moment in time, you know what I'm saying, we are kind of doing it a little different, but with the same blueprint, I'm using the same blueprint as LaFace
Hmm.
to get everybody in shape and get the music right, and we see where it goes from there. Everybody's about one. Everybody is one single in with me
Hmm.
and two artists. We have more to come. All their stuff also was taken. I taken them down from Sony's platform, so all their stuff is going to be released. But we have some new stuff to get ready to come out with.
I know
Um,
the fans can wait, but I'm patiently waiting. It takes time. You just have to make sure that everything is right.
yeah, that's the
You
biggest
can't
thing, is making sure
rush into
everything.
things. You have to make sure everything is right.
Yep, yep. And in my past, me rushing into things because I want it now, now, now. It always
Hmm.
put me in bad situations. With,
Hmm.
with my first deal, when I was 19, it put me in a bad situation because I wanted to be like my dad so much that I'm taking it. You know what I mean? Didn't
Yeah.
realize that, you gotta make sure everything is solid, and it just wasn't a solid situation. So I toured for we toured for 3 years. We didn't get paid for nothing. That ain't right. But that's when we realized something not right. So everybody split ways, and I better do my thing.
And yeah, and like I told you, you represent your dad a whole lot. A
Yeah,
whole lot.
yes. Well, part of me doing what I do is making sure that the memory of my father stays around. I'm not gonna let
Yes,
that.
yes, and his legacy lives on.
Yes.
And like, this like, just came to my mind, Melvin. It's like, have you ever thought about doing this, like, a father-son duo with your dad?
You it's funny you mentioned that, because we were gonna do a father son duo back in, I think it was like 2011, but it didn't happen. There was talks about it, because my dad was liking what I was doing at the time, and
Mhm.
we definitely talked about it, but end up not doing it. It's just a situation with at that time, being independent was different than being mainstream. You feel me? So
Mhm.
you can be independent and still be known as mainstream. It's just a whole different time. So that didn't go down, but there was talks at one time of me and him doing something, and I would have loved to do it. You
Yeah,
feel me?
and then, yeah, it's like, the fans will be like, wow, this is dope.
Well, yeah, I think it would have been dope, because what I thought about was, when Birdman and Wayne did that like father, like son. So I thought it would have been dope because I said, I'm not gonna sing against my father. He would sweep me under the floor. So what I told him was the deal was you sing
Mhm.
and I do the rapping. And we come together like that. But, like I said, it didn't end up happening, but just the thought of it
Mhm.
would have been.
And like besides your latest single, "Chill with Me," what other songs did you put out in the past? What were their names?
I put out a song called Between the Sheets like a year ago. Um but I took that down too, everything had to come down. That was a song that I did. I did some songs years ago when I was rapping. I just it's been 2 years since I've come back to my roots with doing
Mhm.
with singing because I started singing before I started rapping. Rapping is kind of what opened a lot of doors for me at one point in time. So um, so yeah, I decided after my pop went that I wanted to keep him around. So what could I do? So out of the years, I came up with let me come back to my roots. Let me sing, bring back bring back the style my father and my family helped create,
Mhm.
and let me do that because you know that's just one thing I thought, and then when I thought about it, it touched me, and I was like, yeah, I think that's the move to make. So I left hip hop alone, and then I came back home where I'm supposed to be, and and even though it's been a short period of time, a lot has happened, and I found out that I got a lot more supporters behind me when I'm singing than when I'm a rapper. So rap kind of harsh. So.
Mhm. And Melvin, I have a question. What are your thoughts? It's like when you constantly keep on hearing that real hip hop is dead, real R&B is dead. What are your thoughts about that?
um,
How do you feel like people constantly keep on saying it?
Well, Killer Mike showed that real hip hop ain't dead.
It's not at all.
Say that, and I gotta say I'm sorry to a lot of younger people who don't know who Killer Mike is. But my thing is, if you, my suggestion would you guys just sit down, listen to some Killer Mike, listen to what page he's on. He's on something different. He's on empowering our culture. So Killer Mike definitely showed hip hop is not dead. R&B is not dead either. Um, we just got the wrong people controlling our music.
And and there's another thing. We're not getting enough supporters.
Right. See, here's the thing. This is why I need to go back to the 90s. Because the 90s, we supported each other. It just needs to go back to that. Because a rapper could sell all his music out of the trunk of his cars and become a millionaire back in the 90s. You can't do that today. And I feel we have to, it's nothing wrong with shopping with other cultures, but at the end of the day, when you think about shopping, we have to get more into the mindset of letting keeping the American dollar and our culture longer than what we normally keep it. As soon as we get paid, we run and spend it with everybody else, but we don't spend it with our own. So we are the richest culture in the world. We have more millionaires than any other culture. You know what I mean? So if we all were to practice keeping the American dollar in our culture, you know what I mean, we can build up Black Wall Street again. You know what I mean? And right now, I think it's a time to do that.
It
Our
is.
culture, you know what I mean? Last time we built up Black Wall Street, we built it up in no time. So that's just what I think. That's how I feel on that is we just need to start spending money with our own, keeping the money in our possession, even when it comes to banks.
Yeah, it's like
Like financing the black-owned banks.
mhm. I mean, you know how most African Americans are with money. It's like, they're very selfish. It's like, and even if you have a business partner or like people in your team, it's like there'll be a lot of them are so self-centered. And I'm like, come on,
Well,
really?
at the end of the day, this is what I feel. Our culture, we didn't have a chance, the same chances that a lot of other cultures had, right? What's around our neighborhoods? Liquor stores, you know what I mean? And inside the liquor stores, what they do, they cash checks, right? But
Mm-hmm.
we didn't grow up with banks in our neighborhood. You know what I mean? So that keeps us from knowing how to use credit, which why as soon as we get of age, we get our first credit card, we misuse it because we didn't have knowledge of it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know what I mean? I'm speaking on it because, you know what I mean? My wife taught me about credit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and like,
Now,
credit is what's important. Credit is what's important. It's like, it, if you have bad credit, it's like, you can't move around. It's like, you can't get a car, you
and guess
can't move to like the house that you want to move to. So it's always important to check your credit to see like, the status of your credit. It's like, where is that?
yeah,
You always have to like, that's the number one priority if you want to like, move on to like, the next step. You have
hmm
to always check your credit.
yeah, that's because I was in my mind, because I remember checking my credit back in the early 2000s, and every time I would check my credit would go down. So I'm one of those who was like, okay, I just won't check it. You know what I mean? Didn't realize how important it was, and then my wife was like, nah, you sign up for this. This is free to check your credit. And I was like, oh, okay. So she broke it down to me. But before that, yeah, our neighborhoods, we don't get taught about that. And none of our schools, we don't get taught about
That sucks.
it. And,
They're supposed to be teaching you about your credit. It's like,
right,
when you get to to like, a certain age,
mm,
they need to be teaching you about credit because it's like when you sort of you just start like, spending unnecessarily and like, as time goes by, when you look at that like, summary, you be like,
yeah,
oh my gosh, and no wonder my credit is low because this is what you did in the
mm,
past.
yeah, yeah. So, a lot of that, I don't blame our culture. It was just something that some people got, some people didn't get. Some schools taught, some schools didn't teach. You feel me? It's so it's a hard knock life, and that's why a lot of us also don't really know the law until we go to jail. Then we find out, oh, this or that thing. We never even knew about it. You
Mhm.
know?
A bankruptcy th- uh, is like, and like nowadays it's like, the amount of scammers, like, people who do fraud is like, they're increasing. We get like, like these calls each and every single day, people trying to
Mm,
scam us.
yeah. So
It's like through the phone or social media, and people would be creating like, fake pages of these high profile celebrities, these legends,
oh
these
yeah,
I
they're real bad with that. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, oh my
And
God, it's like, oh
say,
God.
to anybody, if you ever get a message from a Mark Zuckerberg, uh, you know what I'm saying, a baby face, well, R. Kelly in jail, so I ain't gonna say R. Kelly, even OJ Simpson, anybody, any celebrity, they will never ask you for money. And that's getting pretty bad
They
today.
will hack your page, and like, it's sad. It's like, it's like, we get hackers each and every single day. Pages being hacked, they stealing your information, but but they think that they're gonna get away with it when they'll end up being in prison.
hmm Yeah, so I mean, a lot of time, a lot of places, a lot of things we just have to learn how to maneuver, and you know, you know, we've come up a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like with the lack of resources that
Mhm.
are to us in our culture. So with that being said, we just got to keep rising, and it's gonna take great people to keep rising it. And like I
Yeah.
said, we need more people to support rappers like Killer Mike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just need
And like,
that.
you saw what happened to him at the Grammys.
Yeah, see, that make no sense.
Yeah,
How this man gonna
yeah,
win a
yeah, it
Grammy?
makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. It's like the man won an award, and like here you go. It's like my cops like escorting him out the building for no reason.
Yeah,
What did he do?
nothing. I mean, that happened. Then Kanye West dropped his album, released his album on what is it? Apple Music, and then they removed it, and then we're gonna remove it from all the other DSPs. And I'm like, you guys already took everything from this man. Why are you canceling him on the DSPs? That's all his money right there. Like that makes no sense. But that's just the industry what I'm saying, that we work in, and this is just the life we live. So
Hmm.
we just gotta get better at our decisions we make, and think about the consequences of anything. You know,
Yeah,
whether to join some type of brotherhood or whatever.
yeah,
Just think about all that stuff got consequences with it, and people don't think about it. So puts them in a bad situation.
yeah. It sucks, but like things are gonna get better. But that's life.
Hmm.
People they just like I want to do something to you because they think that they could have power over you, or they think that they could take advantage of you just because you won't do anything.
Yeah, that's just man. You know what I mean? That's like I said. That's just man. That's what you know. It happens with every culture, but you know, our culture especially, we have a heart, and us having a heart sometimes puts us in a position to get hurt with
Uh-huh.
with everything. I mean,
But
we have a heart, and
it's not forever. It's temporary.
it's definitely temporary. It's definitely and we gotta know that. Like even our kids, they gotta know that. Like
Yeah.
all this we're going through is only temporary. We will see our heaven here. You know what I mean? We're on the verge of getting our heaven here. We just gotta keep pushing,
Mm-hmm.
keep pushing.
And
But
like going back to R&B music, what do you think about like um the current R&B artists is like Moni Long, you know the Sacred Souls, because Made for Me, Can I Call You Rose are like two of the like trending songs on social media now.
um, I can say "Made for Me." I don't like that song.
Why? Tell us the reason.
It's played out. That's the reason. When I heard it at first, I was like, okay, it's a cool song. But now, you know, I'm from the '90s era, so when something gets played out, you don't ever want to hear it again. And that's where I'm at with that song. It's nothing against the song, like I said. It's just every time you jump on social media and you hear it, it's just you get to the point to where you're like, I don't want to hear this song no more. I don't want nothing with it. It's a good song, you know what I mean? With everything, all the other R&B, I really, I'm more of a '90s type guy. So I still listen to Mint Condition. I
Yeah.
still, yeah, I still listen to Tevin Campbell. After Seven, Babyface, As Yet. I still listen to Boyz II Men, yo. So I don't really pay attention to today's R&B. Um, but one person I can say that I listen to that isn't today's R&B is Chris Brown.
I don't like Chris Brown. I'm sorry, I don't listen to his music. I don't like Chris Brown.
Really? Wow.
I don't. Something about him is
Oh,
off.
okay.
I don't like Chris
So
Brown.
I like Chris Brown. Sammy still. recording it solo, so I go with Sammy. You know, Ray J. I still bump Ray J. You know, Pleasure P. I mean, Omarion. I still bump. You know what I mean? But everybody I bumped was out back then. You feel me? So it's like, you know, the new R&B. I really don't listen to it, so I can't really give an opinion on it. But I can tell you that one song I can't stand it because I've heard it too many times. It's a good song though. No shade to nobody. The writer is a good writer. It's just, you know, when you get to that point of that's all you're hearing when you jump on social media.
Or Made for Me.
Yeah.
And like speaking of Moni Long, what do you think about her? Will you ever work with her? Like do a collaboration with Moni Long?
Yeah, I would do a collaboration with Money Long. I would, you know what I mean? I have no problem doing collaboration with people. I would definitely do a
She's a
collaboration.
talented artist. She
Yeah.
puts in the work.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would definitely, I don't no shade to nobody. I would do money with Money Long. I mean, I would do a song with Money Long. You know, oh, I forgot who I do like, Coily Ray. Now, I do rock with Coily Ray, yeah, but she's not a singer though. She's a rapper. But I do rock with her. And yeah, I mean, on the R&B side, there's really, you know what I mean. Like I said, I don't really haven't heard no one really because I stay old school with
Yeah,
it.
it's like
So,
me, I stay old school each and every single day. I listen to um old school music as if it just recently came out because music is like history. It repeats itself.
yeah, yeah, music definitely. And that's the thing. That's it, and everything. Everything's a cycle. You know what I mean? Everything just goes a circle, goes repeats itself. You feel me? Just like, you know, right now, with hip hop, it's not at this worst. It's not at a worse situation because hip hop is gonna come back. It's just right now where hip hop at the place that hip hop is at. You know, I think the labels is really pushing Afro beats and Latin music. You feel me?
It's like, and speaking of Afro beats, it's like Afrobeat artists is like Burna Boy. It's like he put um beat from one of Brandy's songs in
Hmm.
his song "Sitting on Top of the World," and it's like also one of the trending songs on social media too.
Yeah. Now, that one I haven't heard too much. But you know, big shout out to the Afrobeat artists because they're definitely doing their thing right now, and
Uh-huh.
I enjoy it when I see them perform. Oh, I love them. I love their performance. They got so much energy on stage. So
It's like it's like once they get on stage, you would just start like bumping. It's like bobbing your head. And speaking
yeah.
of
So
Afrobeats, uh, are you like thinking about collaborating like with an Afrobeat artist? If you are, it's like who and why?
oh, that I haven't thought about it. That's a good idea, but it hasn't crossed my mind right now just because I'm focused on my projects and my two artist projects. So, but I tell you what I tell you what I do. I do know a lot of producers that's part of Afro Beats, and I love their music. So I see myself in the future doing something with someone.
Hmm.
Don't know who, but you know what I mean. Eventually, I do see myself doing like a feature or something with the Afro artist.
Yeah, it's like me. As you see me, I don't listen to like Afro beat. Like nowadays, I used to listen to it a whole lot. I used to listen to Afrobeat a whole lot more than R&B. It's like, in the late 2000s and the early 2010s, I used to listen to it a lot because during that era, that was when Afrobeat music is like, it was lively.
Yeah, yeah, I did.
And you're agreeing with me on that.
Yeah, yeah, the Afro beats. I mean, every genre is, you know what I mean. Afro beats is at its peak right now. I mean, they can't lose right now, and that's where I'm at with it. Is I feel like they can't lose, and it's their turn right now.
Hmm.
And I feel like, with us bringing New Jack Swing back, it's gonna go hand in hand with what Afro beats is doing, and it's really gonna do something. So,
Yeah. And speaking
with that,
of,
I had to cut this meeting short because I have a prior engagement at 9 o'clock. So, thank you for the interview,
all right.
and sorry about that. And I'll talk to you soon. All right,
All right.
thank
All
you.
right, Melvin. Thank you so much. Thank you. God
Thank you.
bless.
All right.